All right, after practice down the floor, senior interviews continue. Xariah Williams today gets a chance to sit down with us. I can hardly believe that Zara is a senior. Is this like hitting you?
Yeah, I feel like it was just yesterday that I came in and it was my freshman year and I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm starting college and now I'm about to leave. So it's crazy.
That's kind of how I think about you too. I asked Corinne this, and I'll ask you too. Like, what do you think now that you've done the two-a-days preseason practice for the fourth time? How do you feel like you were able to kind of better prepare, whether that be physically or mentally, for this last time around having preseason practice?
I think it was a more of a mental game for me, like just knowing what to expect and preparing my body like the night before, like just staying hydrated and just like being mentally tough, knowing that it's going to be hard, but I'll be fine.
Let's go through a little bit of senior leadership stuff. How would you sort of describe your leadership style?
My leadership style, I would say I'm more lead by like example, like on the court and off the court. Like as you would have maybe like Danye is more of like a vocal person. I'm more of like lead by example, like with my actions.
Okay, so you were getting into what I was going to ask you next, which is to go through each of the other seniors. So Donnie, a little more vocal. What about Ann?
And she's lead by example as well. I would say I'm probably a little bit more vocal than Ann, but we're both more like lead by example. Corinne, she's vocal as well, but she's very nice and she'll always bring like the positive side out of it and like try to say like not like necessarily sugarcoat but like give you more positivity with her. And then Margaret, she's more of a vocal person too, like straightforward.
So we're talking about your senior year versus your freshman year. I went back and I should have had this memorized, but the seniors your freshman year were Justice Walker and Shannon Connell. So what are your memories of Justice and Shannon? Shannon, by the way, I think you know Shannon. I mean, I don't know if she'll watch. She just got engaged. Yeah, she just got engaged. Yeah, so maybe she'll see this. So what do you think about when you think back to Justice and Shannon kind of being the senior leaders?
I always remember Justice being a vocal person and not expecting the very least out of you. Like she'll always want more out of you, and that really helped me as my freshman year. Like just coming in and being an outside hitter, and that our tempo is like really fast, and she really like pushed me to like go like when we're blocking and like really had me like on top of my game. And Shannon, she was more of like we call her like team mom. She like kept everyone in line, and she was just a positive person as well.
Yeah, I always remember the team mom tag on Shannon. Yeah, Shannon just it's cool to kind of keep up with players like after they have graduated and moved on. But yeah, I just saw Shannon got engaged. I think I saw even this week she got her wedding dress.
I saw that today. Yeah, it was really.
That'll be cool to follow as that kind of. So this year you've got, in all probability, a little more of a load to carry, a little higher expectation out there on the outside. Have you thought about that? If I ask you if you'd prepared for 2 days different, but knowing that sort of the expectation is you may get more swings this year, has that helped or changed your preparation any?
I think it's I've been more focused on like my game as a whole and just knowing that like, hey, like I'm gonna need to be like 6 rotation outside and like focus on my passing and being very strong in that and confident with my serve receive and knowing that like I need to produce more on the outside as well. I think I really focus on that in practice, just to work hard and make sure I'm doing my best every day and giving it all my all.
As all around outside, that means you got to handle a lot more balls that are out of system, a lot more junk when that happens. But to this point in your career, one of your calling cards has been efficiency. You come into this season hitting 229 from all across the front and sometimes on the right a little bit. But what do you think is kind of your key to being able to keep attack percentages high and keep an efficient percentage to this point in your career?
I think just back to like practice whenever Adler's just getting on me and just thinking like be smart and swing high and hard. So that's what kind of helped me the past season, and that's what I'm focusing on this season. Like not every ball has to be a kill, but like just being more smart with my play.
One of the things that Debbie talks to me about pretty much every time this year with some of the freshmen outsides is they're used to being able to terminate the ball at a higher rate when they were younger and when they were in club or high school, and kind of getting used to knowing when to take a shot that just keeps the rally going. You feel like that's sort of part of it too is that as you've played, you kind of know the difference between big swing versus keeper rallies sustained.
Yeah. And I still struggle with that with myself. Like even today, I was like getting set back row balls, and I'm just wanting to like go in hard, but then like we need to be more like focused if we know that the ball's low or high, just being more smart with that. But that also comes with time and just focusing on every day, like what the coaches are telling you as well.
So let's get into a specific shot now. One of the things that you are particularly adept at, and sometimes the shot's even named after you, is this extreme angle czar cut. I think all of us around the gym kind of recognize that shot in you. Where did you first sort of develop that, and how did you get good at that particular shot?
Honestly, I think I started doing it probably like my senior year of high school, but it wasn't that like sharp. And then I just remember my freshman year, I was just having a really hard time hitting the line, and they just kept taking my line, so I just had to like go with what I got, and it's really my wrist that just does it all.
I've seen a couple crazy ones that you've sort of been able to not only cut but get sort of weird spin on, and they'll take a weird path as they cross the net. I mean, did you ever get to where you had practice it over and over and over and just see how extreme of an angle you could get?
No, I've never honestly, like, it's just more like in the moment thing. Like if I'm way outside the antenna, like I'm just going to try my best just to use my wrist to get it back in. But no, it's more like in the moment, and yeah.
Okay, so I definitely could not let an interview with you go by. You and I have talked about it, but you love the headband. Okay, you love it. So first off, talk to me through about that, because some players, they don't like the headband. You love to wear the headband, and then the Panama.
Yes.
Like, explain to people what the background is on all that.
So my mom's from Panama, and so my brother like got me that headband. I think it was last year when I started wearing it, and I wore it throughout the conference tournament, and so like that's kind of like my lucky headband right now. But I probably have like 10 headbands at the moment, and I'm probably gonna get more.
Okay, so what is it about? I mean, so you explained the Panama thing. That's from your mom, okay? But what is it about needing the headband? Is that just comfort? Is that sweat? Is that just something you've always done?
It's comfort and sweat. I sweat so much. Even today, I was like, I need to change my shirt. Like I'm dripping, so like it catches right here, and so then like also I can just like use my wrist to like get the sweat off, and I look good with the headband, so I'm gonna wear it every day.
Absolutely, that's the best. I'm glad you said that. That's the best reason to wear it. Yeah. Okay. So your brother is the one that actually got it. So where did he get it? Did he tell you that?
No, I think he bought it online, and he also has like a ton of headbands that he wears too. So he just got a couple for me, and I just started wearing them.
Cool. All right. So you talk about all through the Southland Conference tournament. You wore it last year. What's your fondest memory of when we were all in Austin at the NCAA tournament? I mean, really a lifetime experience for any of us. I couldn't only imagine from a player perspective what that was like. But in that match, 4 kills, 4 digs. What's the thing when you think back to that you remember the most?
I just remember the most that there was like this set that was like super tight outside, and I was thinking like, okay, like I'm either gonna get stuffed or I'm just gonna tool the mess out of them. And so I just swung my hardest really high, and I got that kill. And that's what I think about a lot. And just overall, just walking to that gym and just being like, wow, like I'm blessed to like be here. Like the team was such a great team, and in order to play like UT, like such a high top team, like that was just an awesome experience for me.
I mentioned this to Corinne, and she said she didn't really catch this, but so I'll ask you. One of the things I noticed is when we showed up for practice, all of the gym closed up, locked up. You know, they were blacked out windows. Don't step on the floor until exactly 60 minutes on the clock. Did you kind of feel, even in the practices, that there was more of a formality to stop?
I did feel that, because usually we just go in and like coach will be like, okay, warm up, or sometimes we'll even play queens to warm up, like even with the coaches. And I just felt like, yeah, there was like a set structure whenever we got in there. So like, but that also kind of helped me to focus more and just be like, okay, like I'm here to like get the job done too.
Okay, so we talk about warm up at NCA, but I noticed, because I get the same booklet that you guys get at the beginning of the year that has, and I noticed that you are in charge of warm up. So give us the what's it gonna? I mean, you don't have to really reveal all the secrets, but how is Czar doing at prepping for the in charge of warm up 2019?
Well, it starts in the locker room, honestly. So I'm kind of like the hype man of the team. Like me, I would say me, Danye, right now, and probably Rita. But like we start in there and we just like get really. I'm gonna say we get really crunk and like we get really hype and then we go out there and then like we stay focused and I try to like make the warm up fun as well, but just keeping like everybody hype and just ready to play is what I do.
Okay. But does this mean that you are in charge of the warm up music at home games?
That is correct. I am in charge of the warm up music.
And this is key because I mean every year this is key. So give us a little insight. We don't have to know until first home game because that's still a ways away. But what's the process going to be like? Does everybody get to contribute to this? Do you get veto power on any tunes or what?
Definitely get veto power from the tunes and I'm just like, no, we're not listening to that. But yeah, I just asked everybody like, hey, send me like the favorite songs that y'all want, and then we'll all go through it. And I would honestly say it's probably like me and Danye that will just go through it. But like, okay, yeah, we need that song, that song, that song. So we just hope all the songs get approved. So if not, then we'll just make another one.
So has there ever been a time in the past where that process is starting and somebody on the team puts forward a track and y'all are like, no, like you're like you're the only one on the team that would put that on the mixtape. That is not going out there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that happened last year, and they were like, "Oh," and okay, so I think I was kind of late on the music last year, so I was like trying to get everything done, and they were like, and I needed some more songs. So they're like, put this song. I was like, no, no, no. And then I just had to put the song in there, and it was just really slow. It just wasn't a good song. So I'm not letting that person do it again. So
I got you. Okay. So the other question about the pregame music is, once all the songs are picked, then do you like think through what order they got to be in?
that is true. I try to start off like with a couple of like really fast songs and then give it a little bit of slow, but like towards the end I want them to all be fast and like have a lot of bass in them.
Yeah. To kind of mimic coming out and then getting closer to match time. Okay, all right. So last question. I saw, I don't know, it's been a little while. It was 2018, but you still have it on your Twitter. You put out a pinned tweet about getting into nursing school. Yeah. So nursing school. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about that, kind of where you are academically and kind of what's the plan for Czar down the road here.
So I started my first semester last year and I ended up having to actually retake a class, pharmacology. It was really hard. That semester, it was crazy, guys. Like, I was waking up, I have weights, because I couldn't lift with the team, so I'd wake up at like 4:30, go lift at 5. Then after weights, get dressed, and then I have to go to class. And then I have like a 30-minute break, and then after class, I go to another class. And then after that, I have like a 30-minute break, and then I have another class. And then after that, I'm going straight to practice, and I'm just like, every day. So I had to retake a class, but I'm doing that this semester, and it's not a heavy load, so I'll be able to like focus on that class and also like really focus on volleyball like my senior year, and then I'll restart my second semester in the spring.
Cool. So did you kind of know? It seems like when you first came to SFA, that was your intended major. Did you know kind of out of high school that's like a type of field you wanted to do work in?
Yeah, like it was probably up until like sophomore year. I was like, yeah, I want to go into the medical field, and then I just thought nursing was just like the best option for me. I remember also before that though, I wanted to be a coroner.
Really?
Okay, so me and my grandma would always watch like CIS Miami or stuff like that, and like I always found that stuff fascinating. So like I always would tell people like, yeah, I'm gonna be a coroner when I grow up. I don't want to be a coroner. No.
Okay. Wow. Hey, and let me just throw in here. I mean, nursing school is legit. I've through the time of being a faculty member here, I've worked with a lot of the nursing students, a lot of nursing faculty, and that is intense. So that is a big deal. It's real competitive to get into nursing school here. So that is an awesome accomplishment. All right. So we got let's see, scrimmage coming up, and then 1 week from this weekend in action. It counts at SMU. We'll be there for radio for that entire weekend. That's actually where I did my graduate work. Like, yeah, where you guys play is where my graduation was.
Wow, but you're rooting for us, so it doesn't.
Oh, absolutely. I have like only 1 or 2 SMU things. They're like way back in the closet.
Oh, yeah, throw them away.
No, we don't need them anymore. All right, Xariah Williams, senior 2019, part of the leadership team here. Look for her all year long to contribute. Thanks, Zar, for being willing to sit down. That was great.